Today I'm working on installing an interior door. So the basic tools you need, well, obviously you need the door. I've got a level. I use a 6-foot level so that it reaches most of the way from top to the bottom of the door. Then of course you need a nail gun or screws and a drill, but I use a nail gun. And you'll need a pack of shims. It'll take about a pack for every door that you install. And a shim is basically just a wedge. So you've got your level, you've got your gun, got the door, got the shims, and the opening. Now when you get your doors, most of them will be held together by a nail or a screw on the outside of the door jamb. This one here has a screw right here. I believe that's the only one. Now you definitely want to remove this screw or nail before you install the door, because if you install the door without taking this out, you'll hate yourself. And by the way, I am using a Craftsman drill, Impact. If you do this as a business, do not go with Craftsman. They're great as a homeowner's tool, but don't use it as a business. They're not durable enough. You always want to make sure you get a shim behind each hinge of the door. And I like to nail on both sides of the hinge as well. Let's see. Down there, got that nailed on each side of the hinge. That just provides strength because that's what the door slings off of. Now see, this one here was touching, so I don't have a shim here. But I do have a shim behind that hinge. And the next thing you want to check is to make sure your door closes. And you want to have, see this gap here, about a 1/4 inch? You want to make sure your gap along the top is about the same. So what you might have to do is stick a shim in there before you nail this side of the jamb, because that's what's preventing the door from closing. You can see it's hitting there. So once I've got this all shimmed so that my gap is the same along the door when it's closed, if you'll notice, sometimes when you pull the door shut and where it hits the jamb, it bumps up top and it's got a little gap down there at the bottom. You'll have to adjust the door frame itself to get that gap the same. So I've adjusted this door frame a little bit. You can see now there's a slight gap at the top, maybe a slight gap at the bottom, but right here where your doorknob hits, that's the most pivotal point in the door. That's tight, so you won't have any play in the door when it's closed. So basically what I've done, stuck the door in the opening itself, put the level on right here, which is the hinge side. Make sure it's level and shim it out. And then you'll tack it in place. Then you can open the door, put the shims in the proper places, and nail it good on the hinge side. And then you'll make sure the top is right, the gap from the inside along the top is good. And you'll shim this side as needed, nail it, and you've got a door.